because governments don't put enough weight and enough resources and enough respect to forensic work, we have criminals walking free and innocent people in jail. I was a chief advisor to the government on forensic matters and giving evidence in the court. So I was literally supervising and training, supervising forensic work, which involves autopsies and forensic examinations. This terrible disconnect in the way sometimes the government organizes itself so that you do not get the auxiliary support to do your work. As a government pathologist, I work directly under the Ministry of Medical Services. I work hand in hand with the judiciary and the director of prosecutions and the police and sometimes the prisons and the public. So you can see really there is an overlap of several disciplines. Let me repeat, there is us, the forensic department, which falls under the Ministry of Medical Services for the time being. Then there is a government chemist, which now is in the Ministry of Public Health. We have the police, which is in their own line. We have the judiciary, and then the prosecution. And as I said, the general public. Administering and coordinating the four of them when there is no point of reference becomes very difficult, because I have no control over the judiciary, I have no control over the police, I have no control over the government chemist, and yet we are supposed to produce results together. It's no wonder that many cases are lost in the courts. We lose a lot of cases because there is really lack of coordination. The police, the pathologist, the judiciary, the DPP are all working as different arms. I'm repeating again, because of these gaps, the defense takes advantage of this and scatters all the cases. I want the government to be able to respect its specialists. It is of no use to train specialists, put them in position, and then you do not let them execute their mandate. And this is a frustration which made me retire. You give the best advice to the government, and they not only throw it out of, but they insult you in the process. They do not differentiate between the person and the profession. And no government in the world behaves like this and survives as a profession. If you train a judge, let him do his job. If you train a chief government pathologist, let him do his job. Now, this is what is extremely frustrating. And I can't tell you, I couldn't stomach that any longer. So what I did is, 6 months before I hit 50, I wrote a letter to the permanent secretary telling that I'm leaving at the end of the year. 6 months. When people got burnt in Sinai, I wrote letters to the PS, to the minister, and told them Kenyans cannot be buried in a mass grave, because it was going to bring terrible legal implications. We are handling down the Wagara matter. You know the Wagara matter. They buried people in a mass grave. This time, we are still being embarrassed about identification of those people, about who they were, about compensation, about justice. The Wagara. Now, the Sinai, they wanted to repeat the same thing. I wrote several letters to the permanent secretary through my director, and I advised them accordingly. They insisted on burying the people in a mass grave. And I told them, as long as I'm in that office, I will not allow it. I will scream out. The final thing that I did was, when I was called by Capital FM, I told them what I'm telling you, that Kenyans cannot be buried in a mass grave. It was going to bring painful legal implications. I couldn't stand that insult to Kenyans.